The first president of Oklahoma Baptist University was Dr. James M. Carroll of San Marcos, Texas, an ornithologist and naturalist, pastor, and educator who led OBU through its opening and its first difficult year. Frank M. Masters was pastor of the First Baptist Church of Ardmore and a member of the OBU Board of Trustees when he was selected to be OBU's second president and the one who reopened the school in 1915. He served 4 years. Dr. Judson A. Tolman became OBU's third president in 1919. He came to OBU from the presidency of Howard Payne College in Texas. A graduate of the University of Chicago, Tolman was a Greek and Latin scholar and a layman. He served 3 years. John B. Lawrence, pastor of the First Baptist Church of Shawnee, was elected OBU's fourth president in 1922. Lawrence continued to pastor First Baptist Church during the 4 years he led OBU. He later was executive secretary of the Southern Baptist Home Mission Board. Dr. Warren W. Phelan was serving as Dean of Education at the University of Oklahoma when elected president of OBU in 1926. He served 4 years and was the second layman to hold the presidency of OBU. William Cook Boone, pastor of the First Baptist Church of Roanoke, Virginia, was named the 6th president of OBU in 1930. He served 2 years at OBU and later served as executive secretary of the Kentucky Baptist Convention. In 1932, Hale V. Davis became the first OBU graduate to be elected to the presidency. He was pastor of Exchange Avenue Baptist Church in Oklahoma City, owned a business, and was serving as a fundraiser at OBU at the time of his election. He served 18 months as president. Stability came to the presidency in 1934 when Dr. John Wesley Raley was elected. Raley was pastor of the First Baptist Church of Bartlesville and chairman of the OBU Board of Trustees. He served as president from 1934 to 1961, and his 27-year tenure is the longest of any OBU president. He also served 4 years as OBU's chancellor, the only person to hold that office at OBU. Dr. James Ralph Scales, OBU Executive Vice President and Professor of History, followed President Raley. Dr. Scales was the second OBU graduate and third layman to hold the OBU presidency. He served 4 years. Later, he served for 16 years as president of Wake Forest University. He is the only OBU president to be selected from the staff of the university. Grady C. Cawthon was the executive secretary-treasurer of the California Baptist Convention when elected the 10th president of OBU in 1966. He was a former Oklahoma pastor and a former member of the Board of Trustees. In 1970, he left OBU to become president of the New Orleans Baptist Theological Seminary and later served as president of the Baptist Sunday School Board. The 11th OBU president was Dr. William G. Tanner, who came to Bison Hill from the presidency of Mary Hardin Baylor College in Texas. He served from 1971 to 1976 and then became executive secretary of the Baptist Home Mission Board. He returned to Oklahoma in 1987 as executive director of the Baptist General Convention of Oklahoma. Dr. E. Eugene Hall came to OBU as the 12th president in 1977. Although an ordained minister, he had spent most of his career in higher education. He was academic vice president of Louisiana College when selected for the OBU presidency. He served 5 years at OBU and then joined the faculty of New Orleans Baptist Theological Seminary in 1982. 13 was not an unlucky number for OBU, as the next president, Dr. Bob R. Agee, contributed 16 years of service on Bison Hill before retiring in 1998 due to health considerations. Dr. Agee served as a pastor in Kentucky and Tennessee and was vice president for religious affairs at Union University when elected OBU president. His presidential tenure is the second longest in school history. OBU's 14th president, Dr. Mark Brister, assumed office in September of 1998 and served until November of 2007. He came to OBU from Shreveport, Louisiana, where he was pastor of Broadmoor Baptist Church. He was succeeded in November of 2008 by OBU's 15th and current president, Dr. David W. Whitlock. This has been an OBU Centennial Moment.